module which I'm going the module which I am going to present today is a learning management system. We have given it a name of a Samveg. That Samveg name also has a reason because Samveg is basically a vector quantity that includes the velocity and a distance. That means a direction with the distance. The officers have to move in a particular direction with the help of the technology, so that we have given it a name Samveg. Now we have started it during the time of pandemics, because that time there was a problem with the department that we have to the whole department was engaged in the administrative activities, as well as we have to perform all the quasi judicial work which were allotted to us as a taxation officers. As we all know that from since 1st July 2017 GST has been implemented, so there is a continuous updations and upgradations in the process policies, the procedures of that, the IT processes, they were keep on changing. So it's very important for as a training institute, for us as a training institute to provide all the informations, all the notifications and all the GOs to the officers, so that they can act as well. They can act according to the law, according to the GST Act, that is CGST Act and the SGST Act. So we as a training center have to maintain a balance between the two. The field officers were completely involved in administration of COVID activities. At parallel, we have to provide them a training purpose for their actual work which they are going to do. So in that scenario, under the leadership of a commissioner madam, the department has started developing a learning management system. This is a completely in-house development module where this is completely developed by our own team. So this is a major problem area which we were facing, which has given the birth to this learning management system. There are a number of other problems which we are facing. The commercial tax department is having a gazetted officers capacity of 2,400. So there are always an infrastructure limitations in all the training institute among in the Uttar Pradesh. So while we were going on that updations and upgradations in the policies and procedures, it was very difficult for us to provide maximum number of officers in the offline. So what we did is, with the help of that learning management system and online training system, we thought that we will be able to nominate more number of officers. The third thing is 24/7 availability of discussion forums, training materials. And the fourth problem was how to reduce the cost and the paperwork in the training institute. So all these problem areas with us. So we have developed a learning.
ढूंढ लेना पेचकस मिल जाएगा तुम लोगों को, तो ये दरवाजे उतार देना, ये प्लास है ना.
So with these problem areas, we have the commissioner ma'am has decided to develop this learning management.
Sharma ji, your voice. Sharma ji, your voice is interfering now.
Can I start?
I am just requesting Sharma ji to put in mute now.
Okay. Am I audible now, sir?
You are very much audible. You are very much audible. Please carry on.
Sir, thank you, sir. So the major content of this learning management system that I am showing in the screen itself, that basically what we have to do, perform multiple tasks. First, we have to create an e-learning content. Then we have to organize the content into courses. Then we have to develop a delivery mode, that is an online delivery mode through the technological platforms, to develop that content to the officers. That enrollment of trainees, because that was again, officers are not supposed to come to the training centers. Then monitoring, examinations, continuous discussions, because GST is yet evolving. So there are number of apprehensions, number of problems, number of queries. So as a training institute, the training institute has to continuously engage with them, even at the time of the pandemic when the COVID was going on. So that learning management system has to develop that interaction platform also, and 24/7 availability. So with these preparations, these are the main modules or core modules of learning management system. Now this is a flexible, the good thing about this system is that it is having a flexible approach. It is based on the number of masters. So it can be utilized in any department, any institute, any university, as well as we are working on it. So it can be customized anyway. So The other thing is, this is this complete module is on a unique ID generation. That is a simple provision that we generally go through when we develop a software system. Our nomination of officers is completely online. Our examinations is online. Online training material providing. For this, we have integrated this learning management system with the employee information management system. We have online discussions forum. The complete external and internal faculty database is online, so that we will be able to, and even we are able to rank them according to their performance, so that we will be able to find out that whichever the internal or the external faculty is performing best during our trainings, and as for the feedback given by the officers, those who are the trainees. And there is online feedback mechanism. All these is due to the integration between this learning management system and their employee information management system. The good thing is that the officer, when he comes to the training, he doesn't have to go to the number of logins. We provide complete information into his employee information system, which is he is having the login of that the department. As he joins the department issues that particular login to the officer. So, and one thing that I would like to mention is that this module is also integrated with the Kaizala. We are utilizing Microsoft Kaizala app, so this module is completely linked with that. So, and other features which I would like to mention is that role-based learning, course assembly, the reporting is a customized. There's a learner's dashboard, there is a training calendar, self-enrollment, discussion forums, and I would like to emphasize on a discussion forum itself, because during the training, we divided into two parts. One is a classroom training and another is a on-the-job training. The classroom training is generally of a 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, maximum 7 days training, if it is not a foundation. But when the system is evolving, it's very important that to give officers a platform with which they will be able to continuously engage with the mentors, with the seniors, with the training institutes, with the peers, so that, because our work is basically quasi-judicial type, there are a number of legal implications, there are a number of legal interpretations of that issue. If any issue arises, the stakeholders go up to the Supreme Court. So we have to make them aware of each and every development. So the content management, the discussion forum is very important, and that is playing a very important part. And apart from that, I'd also like to mention one thing, that in the intranet, on our intranet, it's not on our internet, but on our intranet, our all 95 locations are connected to that. We have developed a YouTube library type of a system where we upload the videos which we record, and those can be accessed by the officers on anywhere, anytime basis. If suppose the officer is having a problem, is facing a problem for that particular work, a particular order, assessment order, which he is going to go for to deliver, he can consult anytime for that. So firstly, briefly, I'm going to these are the masters which are being prepared: internal faculty, external training topics and subtopics. This is a dashboard, which customized dashboard, which we go for each and every type of training. It's for the use of a commissioner and additional director, sir. This is a training ID generation logic, which we are going to that. Nomination of trainees. It is again integrated with the Kaizala as well as the HR of employee HR for employee nomination. Online feedback is there. Online information sharing, even if they are attached to the fields, there is a system that whatever they perform during their field work, the senior officials as well as the trainees are able to upload the information. So there is a complete 360-degree engagement with the trainees as well as their faculty, mentors, and senior officials. Each and every information is available in our system. Online training materials are there. Weekly schedule generation, online examinations are there, online lecture videos are available. Even we are using our social media platform effectively. We are having a Facebook page, which I have given in my nomination form, and the latest, they are clippings we are uploading, or we are not uploading the complete videos, but we are uploading the clippings which Training Institute feels that they are very effective and they will be useful for the officers. So from all these things, now, all this is not a cakewalk for us. We as a training institute have to face a lot of challenges in the implementation. The important thing is we have to create an awareness, orientation, and comfort for the officers, because This is a completely new platform for the officers. Now we have to guide them how to link Microsoft Teams or whatever the platform we are going, how to download the app, and forcing them to use only online platform for any type of activity. The important issue is we have to train the faculty of the training institute also, and strictly impose do's and don'ts for online training. And most important, because the training is completely a content based thing, so preparing a engaging digital content for them is very important for which we have developed as a training institute. Now the outcome of the project, which we have seen during that pandemic, undisrupted training during pandemic, anywhere, anytime access to training content and videos. We have thoroughly reduced our paperwork and our cost is also very reduced. And we have complete information of the faculty experts in different areas of taxation and governance, and we are effectively utilizing them for our refresher and foundation course. Now, these are the some 3 points which are related to innovation. That is EIMS. There is a full integration with the EIMS, no additional login required. And this module is also linked with the transfer option, because after the foundation course, the newly selected officers, we have to take the transfer options for them. So this module is also linked to that. So it's a complete 360-degree system for the training, and it is highly customizable. So other departments have also asked with us. They have asked for us to share our experiences as well as the module with them. Now the future of this module is that, as we are after this using for 1 year, last one and a half year, we are having that there are number of queries which are similar in nature. So in future, we are trying to use a bot technology, audio and text both, for interacting with trainees which are related to queries, circular notifications, especially rate of taxes, important court orders. And to engage them with the content, we are trying to develop in future small animated videos on small subtopics, because if the duration is long, nobody sees those videos. So what we are trying to develop small animated videos for officers, and SOP should be developed. And later on, within very near in next 1 year, we are trying to link this with the officers' performance report, because in GST everything is online. All the officers are working online. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to engage this module with their online performance functionalities, so that we will be able to find out what are the gap areas for the trainees, and we will develop a training schedule according to that. When our database will grow, we are also trying to develop a AI or put a AI over this, so that we will be able to make this training more effective, more efficient, and more useful for all our stakeholders. And one more thing I would like to mention here is, in near future, we are trying to develop an online course also for the government departments, as well as for the normal users, the business fraternity, which if they want to take some advantage of that. And also this will help people to get jobs, because in the GST there is a concept of GST practitioner. That is because through these online courses, we will be able to develop the jobs through the professionals who will be able to file a return, who will be able to fill the registration forms for the users. So they will be easily get job for that. We are trying for that also. So these are the future plans of the departments. Thank you. This is from my side, sir. Hello, am I audible? Sir, this is from my side, and if
Okay, thank you very much. Good presentation, I would say.
Thank you, sir.
Because I have also been associated with the training, for quite some time.
Sir.
And one or two things which are just hitting my mind.
Sir.
Do you do TNA of your officers who need to be trained? That's
Yes.
number one.
Yeah.
Number one question.
Sir.
Second question is, are you doing? You said something that you are doing evaluation, post evaluation.
Yes.
Of the training, but do you do pre-evaluation also, so that you really know the actual impact of your training?
Sir.
That when they came, they were of this their knowledge level was this, and now this is their knowledge level in this particular area. So these two small questions, if you can just elaborate.
Sir. First, I would like to mention on the reference of training need analysis, sir. This is something which we are going since beginning when we were in offline mode also. We in their employee information system, we have given them an option that in which areas do they need the training, and that option is completely open for a year. So we get information from the user itself that which is the pain areas of them, and when we prepare a training calendar for the next year, we utilize that information. The frequency which topic is having the maximum frequency, we basically go for those type of topics when we prepare a training calendar, sir, for the TNA from the TNA purpose. And the second question, sir, which you have asked, that is related to the pre-training analysis. For the pre-training analysis, sir, presently we are not going doing that because we are having the system is day-to-day evolving. Every month, 5 to 6 circulars, notifications, and GOs, they are coming to the forum.
Anyway, it is just a suggestion.
Sir, yes, sir, sure, sir. We will do that because what
otherwise good.
Sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Tripathi sir, I think your presentation and your efforts are very good, and you have a heavy agenda in your hand for organizing training and evaluating them. Please go ahead with the good work. Excellent work, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you,
sir.
Should I stop?
Digitization and digital database creation and use it for governmental purpose activities. This work is carried out for SSA, Sanskrit Abhiyan, School Education and Assam, carried out by Assam State-Based Application Center. We do various developmental activities using the space technology, GIS and GPS. And this main aim of doing this is there are many schools, more than 45,000 schools, and then we also wanted to have digital database of these and enrollment and dropout and what are the reasons for the progress, etc. The database having a 3 years database, 2018, 19, 20, and 21 database. And our role is to create a database and develop a dashboard so that using the dashboard, any related activities improving their education, etc. This Sanskrit Abhiyan we can do. So these are the various challenges for this fields. Basically, developing puzzle inference of the school dropout rate by correlating student enrollment and the dropout, and also amalgamate schools based on the dynamic criteria. What are the infrastructure available? What are the distance from the highways? And then also what are the infrastructure, amenity facilities, etc. available in the school. So the dashboard application allows to help in the creating all the facilities. Web mapping application and it is also help in the visualization. And also there are something they wanted to take action using the dashboard. So also creating a buffer and is criteria. Like how much is schools are away from 100 meters from the area, so that the nearby areas and signages and other things they can also develop in that surrounding areas. So basically, the database is with the department, and the data are more on tabular form, and so those data have to be converted into department. So one is what are the school name, etc. What are the boys and what are the girls, and then all the enrollment details. So and then in addition to that, we'll also add positional information so that when we display onto the map, so we know that the schools how this went across Assam. And then also once you create this, so then we also develop GIS database tools also dashboard application tools. So this is the dashboard application. I just wanted to highlight. Dashboard is something we can know clearly how many schools are there, how many boys and girls are there, what are the facilities are available. And these dashboards also will help in real-time monitoring of the activities of the schools. And also visualize various parameters like which are facilities are available, etc. And then it will also help amalgamation of the school dynamic criteria such as infrastructure availability. So there are many infrastructure available, like availability of labs and availability of school different facilities, electrical facilities, water supply, toilet facilities. And then these are the total number of facilities. There are schools of 45,000 schools. And then we also made a criteria what are the schools nearby road, etc. 100 and then we can do a lot of analytics on that because it is built with JS spatial analytics and visualization also can be done on that. And then basically, if you want to take any quick decision, it helps. The transition and spreadsheet, the GIS report, the dashboard, and data analysis in this, and also with the dashboard in place, hardware education system for the staff and department to utilize the trends of the student enrollment and largely benefited by using the application and automation of the universities. So this database basically recently also there was some issues. Some of the schools having facilities not availability of teachers, etc. So then the government has decided to amalgamate some of the schools which are nearby, like 100 meters, and if they're having a less number of teachers and then facilities, etc. So that it helps in basically optimizing the services of the employees and also increase the teacher-pupil ratio and saving administrative costs, etc. So that is one of the benefits of these Middle bids. Actually, once we develop these, these database, once you have the total database of these, so then it can be also help in getting the dashboard of different things like what is the total enrollment area within the database and regular attendance. Suppose you have a link with the internet facility, some of the schools are still lagging, but schools are developing the internet facility. So then what are all the attendance that are happening? What are the attendance of the children, attendance of the teachers, and then the feedback about classes and then the examinations, and then all these things can be developed in terms of I can say database, and then those details will be directly can be monitored from the central place, or which are the authority, school authorities, so they will be knowing that what are all happening at the different schools. And there is also like there are some of the facilities which are not available in some of the schools. Government prioritizing those schools and trying to help to bring the minimum facilities to all the schools. So this is one is the database, another is to develop towards like what I can say is bring it towards a live real-time portal, so that it will help government of Assam to improve the education. So in that, so far they have decided to amalgamate 711 700 medium English schools and scale medium vernacular schools and K-24 LP schools, and then also 2 junior BS and 30 schools are improved. The concurrence of these budget allocation is also made to amalgamate these things. But then in future, we also wanted to use AI machine learning techniques for prediction of improvement of these things. There are so many other things that are also being created in this, like what is the reason for dropout and how to improve the education facility. There may be other reasons also. One is availability of any other private schools, what are the fees among the schools, and then also availability of the transportation. So there are so many things, and then we can also give the weightage for all the things, and also use advanced tools so that this can be also further improved, and then improve the school education so that it will help overall development and progress of Assam. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much for the SKOCH for giving us the opportunity to share our views and preferences. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I think you are doing very good work, but just tell me one or two things. No, this amalgamation process. You amalgamate various schools, no, which you think are required to be amalgamated for various reasons. Now, how the teachers in that area react, or the students in that area react? Because everyone wants to go to a school which is near to his place of living. So, does it cause any sort of resentment from the teacher side or from the student side?
Sir, actually, we also developed a analysis like developing what I say, making the buffering of the nearby schools. Suppose the schools are so close, like within 100 meters and within 200 meters, etc. So that much of nearer the school, that decision is taken that only nearby schools amalgamated, so that students will not get affected. So once we make the buffer, we know that how many schools are near this 100 meters and 200 meters. And you can also tell that also utilize the more effectively, because some of the schools are running with less number of teachers, etc. And then once you amalgamate, their facilities also get improved. So that way it is going to benefit. And then basically most important thing is save the economy, economize the things. That's the advantage of this.
Any improvement in the dropout ratio, or any fall rather, I would say?
Already the decision is taken, and then budget allocation was also made, and then it is now in the process of evaluation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sharma sir.
Dr. Raju, I think this is a very good project, but the only thing is that the amalgamation of schools has been approved by the government, but it is yet to be translated into real action. Is that impression true?
Yeah, I think recently only the decision has taken, and then basically budget allocation, financial and partnership is given. So I think now the process will start. Amalgamation process will start.
Okay. Then it will take some time to to notice the full tangible impact of this initiative. Otherwise, it is a good project, because in senior secondary schools, the infrastructure is definitely much more than the primary schools.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Sure. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, one more.
As Mr. Mohit introduced me, I'm Venu from CSR and principal scientist from Bangalore. So here I'm going to present you my innovative program that I did during the COVID time. That is called GeoMany UVSC, which is being a lifesaver for the real lifesavers in the COVID time, and obviously for long. That is for Dr. Seth. So before I proceed with the innovation, I just want to brief about my intro that I'm having a 19 years of professional experience in the field of aerospace sector and mechanical engineering and catering to the needs of the national programs for the strategic sector and space programs, government programs, and private MNCs as well in the field of gas turbine engines. And I'm a peer reviewer for Commercial Science and Technology Journal from University of Pennsylvania, USA. And I'm part of GKSA program to mentor children and nurture their innovative minds. And and my field of expertise also here mentioned is supersonic flows, gas thermics, endothermic fuels, and liquid fuel injectors, which I invented some fuel injectors for scramjet applications for defense as well as space programs. And I'm a life member for Indian Science Congress Association as well as ASME. And to my efforts, I got recognition for Atmanirbhar Bharat Award, Asia's 100 Powerful Leaders of Technology, Man of Excellence, and Distinguished Leadership, apart from Padma Shri nomination. So these are just glimpses of the awards what I mentioned here, and I'm being groomed by Mr. Marshall Goldsmith for effective leadership, which I'm taking forward to mentor certain corporate leaders and as well as the upcoming leaders like engineers and medical students as well. Now let us step into the Jeevam program, where the Jeevam and how it has evolved. What is the journey of Jeevam in the process of safeguarding our own lifesavers, doctors and healthcare staff in the pandemic. So here the roadmap of how the motivation came and what is the strategy that I applied and all those things. I will just give you the glimpses of that. The motivation was simple. During the pandemic, first pandemic lockdown, we were all glued to the TVs and we were watching how many people got succumbed to the COVID infection. And in that process, one bottom scrolling line which says so many doctors got infected and many of them succumbed, they exposed to the mental trauma because of prolonged duties and how they are suffering. So that actually struck my mind, and I just decided that the science and innovation, what we have as an individual, should cater the needs of the society apart from our regular duties. So that's where actually the thought process started. And I just started exploring what is the reason for this infection that doctors are getting infected, because they are assumed to be the knowledgeable people that they can take care of it. This I'm talking about somewhere in March and April 2020, where we are not having any clue about what is the corona mutations, what is the vaccine program development and all. So that time during my research, I found that the PPE, which is supposed to be safeguarding doctors from the infection, that itself was causing in the process of doping. So the PPE, which is supposed to save them, that itself is causing the infection. Then how to do that? Because I believe if we save one life of a doctor, it is equivalent to saving 1,000 lives of common people. So then I just explored that. Now I come to know the reason, what is the cause for the infection to the doctors. Then I realized that then this infection I should stop. So to stop this, I need to provide a safe system between the COVID ward as well as the doping room. And I'm not supposed to spray any harmful chemicals on human beings, but I need a clean technology. During my research in IIT Madras, I worked with lasers and non-destructive diagnostic methods with lasers and all. So there I had experience with light waves and all. So UVC is well known to me, that is genocidal wavelength, which is called 254 nanometers, that is having the characteristic of killing virus and bacteria. So now my point is how we can do that. So for this one, this particular wavelength is having the characteristic of breaking the DNA of this particular virus. So that means it is how it will kill. This coronavirus is having the residence time. Okay, this is actually technically it is declared as a non-living thing, but it can go into the living tissues and it can multiply itself. But the moment this particular wavelength of UVC light falls on that, it will break its DNA structure, it will make it sterile so that it will stop from multiplication of it. That's how we can restrict it. So, but the thing is, UVC is known for its side effects like effectiveness on skin and eyes. So how we have to nullify that? Because now I know the strategy how to kill a virus, but at the same time I have to ensure the safety of human being. So for that one, what we can do that. So before proceeding further, I need to know how much energy I should pass on to this so that I can kill the coronavirus. And with the literature review, I could get the information that 27 joules per meter square is sufficient to kill the coronavirus. So this is supported by, again, Lisa, one of the major producers of UV lamps in USA. So, but before, now I know the problem, I know the strategy, but before I proceed into developing some technology, I should know whether it's such kind of technology available in global, in the world or not. But I could find these kind of technologies where they are there for non-living things, but not for the human beings directly getting exposed to that. So with this, I got the confidence, yes, I can develop some technology for the human beings. And that's how I did that. So I decided to develop this one, but before proceeding, I should go to the regulations, what regulation says. So US FDA, I gone to US FDA, OSHA, ACJS guidelines, which clearly says if UVC is being exposed to the human being, 10 millijoules per centimeter square in a day is allowed. That means now I got the confidence that 10 millijoules per centimeter square is the limit for human safety, or that is the threshold value defined by these governing agencies. And for killing the coronavirus is just 2.7. That means I am much more safer because 30% of what is allowed threshold value is sufficient to kill the virus. And WHO guidelines also clear says use clean technologies like UV instead of spraying harmful chemicals. And then I made the prototype and I tested that prototype with the wavelength and energies at IISc Bangalore to get whatever I am designing that is working or not. So my specification goes like this. So 254 nanometers, to be precise, 250.7 nanometers UVC, that is the given. I have built that it's a live size, so that the human being with PPE wearing should enter into that comfortably, because PPE, when you wear the PPE, visibility will be very less. So it should be like foolproof system that should be there. And as on today, I can say confidently, it's a unique device in the world. So these are actually prototype as well as model. And the GWAM in action, you can see the blue color one, and myself is inside. So I entered inside and I checked its functionality. And before, now the moment I develop the prototype, I need to do the microbial testing. So I approach a laboratory to test it, and I place the virus at different locations like head, neck, underarms, knee, so that I should not leave any black spots. So that is the testing I did. So along with the testing, I need to check the ensure, as I mentioned in the previous slides, that safety of skin and eyes. So here, if you see the first picture, so it clearly says UVC with 254 nanometers. This is the depth of the skin. You can see how much it is penetrating. It's hardly 5% of UVC is penetrating. That towards the epidemia. So epidermis level itself, it is less than 5%. It's what it is piercing into that. So it is pretty much safe for the skin as well. And when it comes to the eye, if you see less than 280 nanometers, it is not crossing to cornea. So this particular wavelength and this is pretty much safe to the eyes as well. So when I did the microbial testing, if you see here the table, I did for different durations, and here I can say confidently within 3 seconds it is killing 99.99% of MS2 patch. So because I could not take coronavirus during that time, because I'm not authorized to do that, because only designated laboratories only they can do that. So I had to take different virus and different waterborne bacteria to test it, and it is killing within 3 seconds. It is killing 100%. And I compared my results with one of the journals published in a Korean paper. So the results are similar to that. And I validated the data. And here the list of different viruses and bacteria is here. And I approached one of the doctor, reputed dermatologist. She has given the certificate that Jeevam is very much safe for when it comes to human skin and all. And she has said that the Jeevam shall be a boon for the medical worker fighting COVID while wearing PPE, and it is recommended. So that's what the statement, one of the reputed they are given. And letter of appreciation. I have put the device in the month of June 2020, and Ramaya Hospital. We donated that to Ramaya Hospital as well as Victoria Hospital, 2 units in Victoria, 1 unit in Ramaya Hospital. From June to and July end, they have studied it and they found that it is saving 200 doctors per day in a hospital. Before deploying the device, 50% of the staff were getting infected, and after deploying, it is 100% safe. And one of my great experiences is that one of the doctors approached me without knowing me. He ran and she just thanked me like this and said that before deploying this device, I was away from my child. I had to feed my baby. I was not alone, but after this, getting the chance. Thank you so much. So that's what I tell my lifetime achievement. I can say we all go to the doctors and thank them for saving our life. And one doctor approached me and thanked me. That actually I take real appreciation. And this is a appreciation letter of appreciation. I got it from Ramaya Hospital, and I have filed the patent as well for this. And these are some of the recognitions. Local newspaper, it published, and All India Radio also, they acknowledge the what do you call this speech. And here the doctor has given the interview, and I made the journey of the Jeevam because I don't want to restrict this kind of technology should be known to me. I wanted to make it in public. I made a short film, and this was screened at UCAN and Australian International Film Festivals also, because I want to show how innovation can help the society, how we have to spread our horizons and social responsibility. And the benefits of Jeevam, I can say it's as of now, it's still unique device in the world, and for the society it is made. And industry partners come up to me and believed in me, they invested in me, and it is purely 100% make in India. It fits in make in India thing. And the biggest gift I can give to the doctors is that qualitative time to the doctors, because those days doctors were under severe trauma because of the work pressure. And I could see even in publication, newspapers also, it has come home. And even recently, WHO declared 1.5 lakh doctors succumbed to the COVID. So this device is giving qualitative time for the doctors and ensuring the safety.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. In another 1 minute, try to just conclude the presentation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm almost done. I will take probably 20 seconds more. So this is, as I mentioned earlier, one of the healthcare institute, Bangalore, they nominated me for Padma Shri award also, and received different awards, as I mentioned earlier. And so now this is what I did already. So what is next? Because I cannot stop myself doing things. So what I thought is doing the things now, extending the Jeevam applicability for the TB cure. So now the TB is one of the discussion, topic, how to control that, because this, whatever the vaccine we are giving, it is, as per the literature, it says it's effective for children, but for adults, it's still a concern. So for the purpose, this TB and TB bacteria also is actually having its shelf life kind of thing, up to 6 months in standard normal atmospheric condition. But yes, we need to curb that. Now, literature clearly shows that UVC can curb this infection and it can kill the bacteria up to 70%. So that's one thing I want to extend that further research so that Jeevam can be used for this purpose. And apart from this Jeevam, I'm thinking about artificial tree kind of thing in future, because now always it's now everywhere it's a concrete jungle. Cities are expanding in vertical direction, like apartments kind of thing, and no place for the green trees and greenery. For that one, we have to provide such a facility. That is nothing but I want to build like a curtain kind of thing in the wall, to the window, where the curtain should produce the oxygen the way leaves does photosynthesis kind of process. Actually, this is at the basic research for me, but globally people are doing an artificial photosynthesis. That kind of technology I want to make it, and I want to make that one as simple as that a curtain, if you tie to the window, it should react to the like photosynthetic reaction should happen and oxygen should come out. So that kind of thing. And one more thing, now it's the era of electric vehicles, but the thing is now highways, we need to have, because now range if you see maximum 550 or 600 kilometers for 100% charge of electric vehicle, a car if you take it. But the thing is highways, we need the requirement of such kind of stations. So how we can do that? So I just collected some catalogs and batteries kind of thing, and I'm just building a DPR for such proposal also. I'm just approaching some eminent people so that they can listen to us and take me along with them for the journey of helping the society with the innovation and science. And thank you so much for your time. And here I would like to introduce my team who believed in me, in my capability, and they came forward to join hands and invested money for developing these things. And we donated the device, we did not sell that one. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vinu.
Thank you, sir.
I think it's not one doctor, but the whole nation thanks you for your innovation. Really, we are impressed, and people like you are going to take India fast forward.
Thank you so much. It's a blessing.
All the best to you. We are very happy to note that such an invention has come and it is going to save the life of millions and millions of people, not only in India, maybe all over the world. So no questions from my side. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Mr. Venu, in fact, you have done excellent work. And we appreciate your innovation, that too in a short time of Corona phase when everything was in a mess. So excellent, outstanding, and brilliant work. Congratulations. Please go ahead with your electric vehicle and power station on highways work. Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Presentation, I am bound to inform you a small change in today's schedule from our side. So today's presentation has to be given by our Managing Director, Mr. Abhijit Agrawal, but since he is unwell, I've been given responsibility to deliver this presentation. Before we move ahead, I would like to take 1 minute, of all of your team members, and I would like to introduce the important stakeholders who are present in this presentation from our side. So we have PCCF, Principal Chief Conservator of Forest, APCCF IT, APCCF Production, and consultant from Forest Department. Other than that, we have OIC, MPSC DC from our side, and our project team members. So this is going to be the flow of the presentation. First, we are going to talk about what is MPSCDC, what is Forest Department, what is the organization structure, what is the mandate that has been given to MPSCDC by the state government, what kind of leadership we have. Then we'll talk about project brief, then the process flow in terms of department and vendors, and then finally we'll talk about problems and the key benefits. So this entire project has been developed by MPSCDC. MPSCDC, it's a Madhya Pradesh State Electronic Development Corporation. MPSCDC is a corporation, under Department of Science and Technology, Government of Madhya Pradesh. Earlier, under Department of Science and Technology, we had two agencies, MPSCDC and MapIT. Now it has, I mean, the merger has taken place, and now MPSCDC is the whole sole agency who is taking care of all the IT activities under Department of Science and Technology. So we do a lot of work. We have our own state data center. MPSCDC is managing that. So if if I talk in terms in a broad level, so MPSCDC work in two different domains. One is the infrastructure side, and second is in the consultancy side. So under infrastructure side, we have SDC, we have SWAN, we work for IT parks. We promote IT investment also. Under IT consultancy, we have consultants, who give consultancy support to all the state departments of government of Madhya Pradesh. Other than that, we have our own center of excellence, uh, wherein we have, more than 100 developers working in different projects. So let's come to the e-auction project. This project was started in 2019 when when we were facing the pandemic situation, and Forest Department came to us with a challenging statement that they want to conduct an e-auction. When I say challenging statement, I mean it, because that was, until that time we did not do any kind of e-auction related project. So it's a completely in-house developed project developed by a Center of Excellence team of MPSCDC. Forest Department basically does auction of timber, fuel wood, and bamboo. And on an average, Forest Department does an auction of the disposed timber of 800 crore value in a year, per year. So when they came to us, it is a huge project. So when we understood the requirement from Forest Department, and we understood that it is a comprehensive project, so we divided the entire project in 3 phases. It's a pre-auction, an auction, and the post-auction. As per the priority of Forest Department, we started with an auction phase, which is completed and live. And it's been 1 year since we are, disposing timber through this platform. Post auction is under development, and after post auction, we are going to plan a pre-auction phase. We have already given our due diligence in terms of testing the entire system from our internal team before deploying it to the state data center or where it has been hosted. Other than that, we have also engaged SCQC, to do the security audit of this entire e-auction project. And if I talk about the status of that STQC engagement, then functional testing is already completed, security testing is already completed. The vulnerability assessment and penetration testing is in progress. So we hope that this activity is going to be completed in next 1 month. If I talk about the key stakeholders, though there are many stakeholders in this entire project, I will just focus on 3 key stakeholders. One is the MPSCDC, which is the SI and the solution development partner, which is us. Second is the Forest Department, who are, the major stakeholder, the key stakeholders. They are the project owner also. And third is the banking partners. So basically we have integrated, the payment solution wherein, the vendors are using that solution to make online transactions. So the entire, I have, segregated the entire project in 2 different processes. So I will just talk about the process which is related to department side. So there are many stakeholders within the process that falls under the Forest Department. There are DROs, Deputy Range Officer, SDOs, DFO, and then we have APCCF and then PCCF. So so the process from Forest Department starts with the DRO or RO, the range officer. It starts when the Excel sheet or the lot which is to be auctioned gets uploaded by the RO, and it gets forwarded to SDO. SDO reviews the lot and it recommends that that it has been checked by SDO, and it gets forwarded to DFO for approval or rejection. Now DFO can approve or reject. Now we are considering that we are considering a happy flow. So DFO approves the lot and the batch gets created. Now there is a parallel activity which happens, and that activity that activity is done by the APCCF, which is the creation of auction calendar. So the auction calendar gets created by APCCF and it gets sent to the PCCF for approval or rejection. Once the auction calendar gets approved by PCCF, the mapping of schedule and the batch happens. Now coming to the vendor side, so there are two ways we are allowing vendor to get onboarded on our portal. There is one registration module which is already there in the forest department. So what we have done is we have taken one-time data from the forest department and we have migrated that data in our portal. And the second option is that we have given a registration module in our portal itself. So what happens is when the vendor gets registered in the forest department portal, it gets migrated to our portal, and in our portal, the DFO has to approve that registration. And once the registration is approved, the vendor gets the login credential on his mobile or on his email ID. Now there are three key problems which we have identified during the requirement discovery phase. So the first is the physical availability of the vendors. During the physical auction, as we all know, if there is a physical auction, vendor has to come from his own place. So they have to travel from all the way from his own place to the depot where the auction is getting conducted. So that was the major problem for the vendors. Second is the cartel or ring formation. What we have noticed during the discussion while gathering the requirement, that there are malicious activities which could happen, or which might be happening at that point of time, wherein few vendors are coming together and they are settling down in terms of fixing a price that they want to bid on certain species or certain timbers or certain lots or not. So they kind of making a cartel or ring, and and this activity basically leads to this leads to to the failure of the auction. Third is the less competition. During physical auction, what we have noticed during the discussion, that the frequency of bids for a single lot were not seen so much. So noticing all these problems, we started developing our solution. Also, the previous experience in terms of the other system the department have used, or the other system which other states are using. So we have seen all those systems and started developing our system. Now coming to the benefits, there are three benefits which we have noticed. First is the transparency. Now the all the process are coming online, like vendor registration, vendor approval, all rejection and approvals are taking place on the portal itself, whether it is displaying of the upset price before the auction gets started, or the auction scheduling, or the auction award. So entire activity is happening online. That is why the transparency is is increasing more and more. If I talk about the cost saving, definitely there is a straightforward a reflection of the cost saving in terms of vendor and the department. If I talk about the vendor, they don't have to travel from their place to the depot location where the auction is getting placed. Or if I talk about the vendors department side, for conducting every physical auction, there is a high level estimation that they have to spend around 1 lakh rupees, in just doing different kind of arrangement, like sitting arrangement, audio video arrangement, food. The employees are traveling from different location. They have to arrange for transportation also. Then the different employees are engaged in that physical auction. The salary part also. So there is a rough estimation that 1 lakh rupees we are saving per physical auction, per auction we are conducting through this auction platform. Now the last is the convenience. So convenience, again, from the vendor side and from the department side. Vendor, they are sitting on their own place and they'll have to just look at their monitor and they're just placing the bid. If I talk about the department side, this is my personal experience when when I visited one of the depot where the auction was executed. I spoke to the DFO that the system is very convenient because they don't have to, speak all the day, because when there is a physical auction, they have to, the DFO, executes the auction and he has to speak all the day. Now, when we are coming to the e-auction, so they are just sitting inside an office and they are just monitoring. So they don't have to go anywhere to, monitor the auction or to do any physical, activity. There are certainly there are few key achievements which we have achieved so far. So till now we have executed 26 online auctions, and we have covered 17 unique depots. And in 26 auctions, we have auctioned 7,820.
I would request you to conclude now.
Yeah. So in 26 auction, we have auctioned 7,820 lots, and the value of those sold lots is 160 crores. So till date, we have disposed a timber which has a value of 160 crores. Now there is a future roadmap. We have planned certain key milestones which we are planning to achieve in next 6 months or so. So there is a clear-cut inventory management module which we want to computerize. And this inventory module starts right from the coop, where the logs are getting dislodged in the jungle and they get transported to the depot. Then there is a data analytics. So we want to achieve a real-time data analytics by implementing a BI kind of a solution, business intelligence kind of a solution. Then there is a mobile app which is planned for vendors and for the department also. So vendors, they don't have to use a computer system. All they have to do is they have to log in on their mobile app and they can participate on an e-auction. Now there are other new functionalities. So we are planning a credit module. Now we are also planning to use AI and ML for approvals and rejection. So AI and ML for automatic approvals or automatic rejections. So this is all from my side, and I'm open for questions.
Thank you very much. Overall, good presentation. And yeah, I like your roadmap also. But you will appreciate that, you see, unless we do the full automation, I mean, you go all the way e-way, because as of now you are doing only auction through e-auction. But unless
Yes,
you
sir.
do pre and post also through e-auction, I think the real efficiency will not be achieved. And
Yes.
Sort of transparency will also not emerge till you really integrate all the three.
Correct, sir.
So I'm sure you will take note of it. Otherwise,
Yes.
I'll satisfy.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, I think your project is very good, but you have mentioned in the project about the cartel. And this cartel issue is increased when there are only a few vendors or few takers. So how do you want to propose to take care of this cartel issue? This is a very problematic
Sir,
issue in all such auctions.
Sir, what I believe is that we have already taken care of this issue, because since it is an online activity, I mean, one vendor does not know about the other vendor who is sitting, he might be sitting on another place. So, I mean, there is very least chance of somebody, coming up with a cartel formation.
And second issue is that when these vendors go for registration, can they, anybody can apply for registration, or only from people from Madhya Pradesh only?
No, sir, anybody can apply for the registration. We have people from Gujarat also, from Andhra Pradesh also.
Because MP is very rich in as far as forests are concerned. So I think this issue of very few vendors can be tackled if you have a pan-India registration.
Registration is open for everybody, sir.
Okay, okay. Then you need to popularize it so that people are aware about it.
Sure, sir, sure.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.